Hello, my friend. Today is all about artist trading cards. And yes, we are getting things done for the month of June, which means an artist trading card every day. I'm making a sloppy mess out of this. I'm adding some calligraphy ink. This is Chinese calligraphy ink, and I have a black and I have a black gold. And what I'm doing is I'm adding it to these small needlepoint containers. These are containers that you can get from Amazon. I think they're for camera equipment, but yeah, the links are in my description box for my Amazon store. If you're looking for something like this, I link all of that kind of stuff in there. So I'm going to put several different inks in these bottles because, ATCs are small, and I want a needlepoint to apply the ink to my paper because I don't want it going everywhere. So I'm talking to Shell, I'm talking to the audience, and if you want to join us live, we do this each Thursday, 10:30 Central Time on Art Joyous Sharing, which is my sister channel where we do the live shows. We were also talking about the course offering that we are going to have starting in, well, actually, it's not a course offering. It's a premium membership to our group, which is a Facebook group, where we will be offering courses throughout the year. And the first course offering will be in August, and we'll be doing gel printing. And Shell and I will be doing a video each week. That's 5 weeks in the month of August, for you to learn about gel printing, from the way we do it, and join a community, all of that sort of stuff. But that's just the first of several classes that'll be offered throughout the year. As a premium member, what you get is a whole year of instruction. So for 20 bucks, you can join as a premium member until the 1st of August, and be part of that community and get all of the classes for the whole year. Now, this is going to change shortly because beginning August 1st, once we figure out what we're doing and how we're going to do it, we're going to be offering these courses individually to people, and it will be an individual price for each course. So you, because you're getting in on the ground floor and are our peeps and, follow us, have an opportunity that many others are going to miss out on because they're not following us and they're not seeing this. But I also want to invite you to share this. Share this with your friends. I have another video that is about the whole class opportunity. You can go over to peg8robinson.com, and that's where you can sign up for the premium membership. Once you sign up, you'll get your invoice with that information about the group, and you can go over there and join the group and, start sharing right away if you want to. We will be adding things throughout the month of July before we get going in August with the course, and things will be recorded, and yes, you will have a limited opportunity to go back and watch those videos from the recordings. So if you can't make the lives on the group, you can always go back and view and ask questions in the group and share what you're working on, all of the things that are fun in one of these communities. So now I'm just playing with inks. I've got ATC cards out. I'm going to play with the backgrounds. I've got palette knives and silicone spatulas and my little needlepoint tools, and I'm just putting the ink down onto the background. I like to have some white space, so I'm going to dry some of that ink down, leave some white space, and we'll see where we go from here. Shell was working on her ATCs also, so be sure and check out her channel or the live video, which is an hour and a half, that we record on Our Joy of Sharing. And you'll see what she's been doing. But as part of our other free community, which is Art Joy of Sharing, we are doing a month-long challenge, and there's a whole file folder in that group with everybody's ATCs for the whole month. I don't know, we've probably got maybe 200 in there already, and who knows how many by the time we get done. But there's lots of inspiration there, lots of things to get you inspired. So now I'm using this little bamboo tool. I think I got that from Dick Blick. But yeah, I was just scratching some of that calligraphy ink around, and now I had some watercolors out on my desk that I was using last week, and I'm going to add those to the background. Just doing kind of an abstract background for this. And I've got another one, and I'm going to choose some different colors. And this is kind of an opera pink, I think. And it's mixed with some other colors in my palette, which is fine. And get that watercolor moving around on the background. So now I'm going to take some tissue. I have some tissue out here on my desk, and I'm going to get some embossing powder. These are from Seth Apter. And I'm going to get some Versamark ink and a Seth Apter stamp. I'm going to ink that stamp up with that Versamark, and then I'm going to use some embossing powder on that tissue paper. Because the reason I'm using tissue paper is I want to be able to see the background through the imagery, but I also want that pretty, I don't know what you call that, kind of a rusty color image to glue down on my ATC. So as you can see, I just used my Yoo-Hoo glue stick, glue that down, and now I've got some other little bits and bobs from other things that I've cut out. I'm going to glue those on. It's kind of a abstract background. And now I'm adding some Posca paint pen in there, and I'm going to find a little quote. I've got these stamps that haven't really had out of the packaging, and I'm going to stamp that. It says, take the road less traveled, and since Shell is traveling right now, I thought it was appropriate for what she's doing, because they're kind of touring over on the West Coast, and it's always fun to take the road less traveled because you get to see things that other people are not seeing. You're not running into all the tourists. You're able to see things out in nature that, you know, others aren't because they're in the more populated areas. So now I've stamped that with a text stamp, and I'm getting some other things to embellish this with. I have these photographic paper dolls from Tim Holtz. Someone had asked me to do more dimensional work, so I'm putting dimensional tape on the back of these, and what that does is it pops it up off of your card, and that's a real easy way to get dimension in your ATCs. So now I'm going back to that watercolor palette that I had from last week. I'm just picking up some of this, what is that? Well, anyway, the tones that I have out here are the colors that I had been creating with previously, and I like not just having those colors, but I like the black and white to mix with them. I like mingling the colors that are in my palette to create new colors. So this is kind of a floral background. Michelle said I was still thinking about the garden because I've been doing a lot of gardening lately. And, now I'm going back to doing these florals. And she says, yeah, you must still be thinking about the garden. It's probably true. So I'm adding this green in here. It kind of contrasts with that burgundy red color. And I'm going to take a sanding block and sand the edge because it's kind of jagged. And then I've got this other clear stamp that I'm stamping in a brown. I think that is soil, something like that. And then this is a fern leaf green. So yeah, definitely garden colors, right? So I stamped that, and then I've got this extra piece of paper out of my desk, and I'm going to cut a branch. This is something that I had stained or dyed with ink, and I think it was just a shipping tag. So I cut that little branch out, and I'm going to grab my Distress crayons from Tim Holtz in a brown, and I'm going to use that to add a little shadow underneath the branch. Trim that off on the edge, and then I have this little chipboard, I think it's chipboard, bird. You can get these in packages from places like Michael's, or sometimes even the dollar store has this stuff. But I'm going to put a couple of different colors of embossing powder on this bird, because they're not all one color. So I've used a couple of different colors of embossing powder. I'm going to add that bird to this card like he's in flight and going to land on that branch. And then I'm going to find a quote to go on this particular artist trading card, and we will have 2 ATCs. And now I'm going to use a little bit of Versamark on the edge and a little bit of that embossing powder just to give it a little bit of sparkle around the edge, add a little more interest instead of just that white edging. So we'll put the excess back in the container, clean up our mess a little bit, and we've got 3 ATCs. Now I've got time to maybe knock one more out, and this was the background, one of the backgrounds that I'd been playing with just smearing those inks around. And I thought, well, what can I do with that? So I reach over and grab some stuff out of my drawer. I have this die cut. I think that's from Elizabeth Craft. Looking at some other dies, and I'm thinking, no, don't really want that. I need to just go ahead and finish this out with a quote, call it good, and we will have 4 ATCs for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you come and join us on Art Joy is Sharing. If you're new to my channel and like this content, be sure and, like, share, subscribe, all those things that let people know that this is worthy content. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you being with us today. And go make some ATCs and share them. Use our hashtag because, that's how we find you. And we will see what you've been working on. Thanks so much for being here. Stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.